And so we're not really taught to have it, because the communicating from your feminine power, we have to pair our strength and clarity with vulnerability. It has to be balanced. And that's the key. Also, communicating from your feminine power means being able to clearly state your desires, but not coming in with also the solution. The guy wants to be the hero. He wants to be the one where you state, if a guy's texting you and you're like, oh, I can't stand this constant texting. I'm more of a phone call person. Like, this is annoying. Then, your job as, communicating from your feminine power is, I'd really love to hear your voice. You're stating a desire, and then he's like, oh, great, I'll call you in 10 minutes, or great, let's make time to talk later this evening. Let it be his idea. As the woman, you are to state your desires. You are to be verbal, and you are to verbalize your desires, your wants, and your needs. So he's not doing any guesswork. And then it's his job to come in and fill in the gap and say, oh, okay, let me do this. Let me help you with this. Let me, and I think that's a game changer for women. If you can really get this feminine, powerful communication style down, that activates men in a way that will just nothing but benefit you if you can really take hold of that. So, yeah.
And I always say to communicate from a place of feeling, like, hey, I really miss you. I wish I could see you. I'm like really sad, it makes me really sad when I don't like hear from you for a long time. I like really miss you. They'll like come in, they'll like pop into action, like, oh my God.
Immediately.
What can I do? Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
exactly.
So as much as we can like lean into our feeling space, how is this making me feel? Oh, I feel kind of sad. I feel kind of neglected, or like I feel lonely, or I feel, I'm just it makes me feel like I feel maybe not abandoned. That's a little
That's a little
It's a little dramatic though.
And I tell women to like going into a date, because we talk a lot about going into a date. Obviously we're trying to like get to know this other person, right? But there's a big difference between getting to know this other person from a place of openness and curiosity, like we talking about, versus like getting to know this person to see whether or not he answers all of my questions correctly. Like there's right and wrong. And if it's a wrong answer, it's like,
You're out.
Exactly. Like, versus like curious, like, and then asking follow-up questions too. Like, cause sometimes we hear something, like they say something and it maybe rubs us the wrong way. And then all of our kind of limiting beliefs come in, all of our assumptions, right? Come into play versus, and it could be not even what he meant. Right.
Exactly.
And so a lot of it is like asking like, oh, what do you mean by that? Like, give me an example. Like, so are you saying that this, and this? Well, then what about this? Like asking, being okay instead of just cut, now you're, cutting it off. Like right there, oftentimes we have a tendency to just write them off because we hear something that we don't like.